Why does it feel like the world stops after a breakup? It's as if everything you once knew, your routines, your dreams, even your sense of self, vanishes overnight. It's not just the person you lose, it's the life you built around them. Here's a truth that might surprise you. The pain of a breakup isn't a sign that you're weak or broken. It's a sign that you care deeply. But holding on to that pain, that longing, is like clutching a rope that's burning your hands. The tighter you grip, the more it hurts. The real question is, how do you let go? How do you stop looking back at what's lost and start moving toward what's waiting ahead? That's where the law of detachment comes in. It's not about forgetting or pretending you don't care. It's about learning to release the need for control and trust that by letting go, you make space for something greater. In this video, we'll explore how to recover from heartbreak by embracing detachment. Together, we'll find clarity, peace, and a renewed sense of purpose. Are you ready to let go and rediscover yourself? Today, we'll explore how to let go and take back the parts of yourself you thought were lost. Breakups often feel like carrying a weight you can't put down. It's not just about losing the person, it's about losing the shared routines, the plans for the future, and even the version of yourself that existed in the relationship. That's why a breakup can feel so heavy. It's more than the absence of someone. It's the loss of a life you thought you knew. When a relationship ends, it's normal to feel like the ground beneath you has shifted. The moments you spent together become memories that replay in your mind, almost taunting you with what could have been. But the heaviness isn't just about the past. It's also about the uncertainty of the future. You ask yourself, what happens now? Will I ever feel whole again? Breakups feel heavy because they shake your sense of stability. When you're with someone, you often intertwine your identity with theirs. What you do, what you dream about, how you see yourself. When they leave, it feels like pieces of you leave with them. The world you built together, even the smallest things like favorite songs or places, now carries a bittersweet ache. This heaviness also comes from attachment. It's human nature to hold on to what feels safe and familiar, even when it's no longer serving us. These attachments run deeper than we often realize, tying us not only to the person, but to the comfort of what we expected life to be. Letting go feels impossible because it means stepping into the unknown. But here's a perspective you might not have considered. The weight you feel isn't permanent. It's a reflection of the love, time, and energy you invested. And while that love was real, it doesn't mean you have to carry its pain forever. You have the choice to set the weight down. It doesn't happen all at once, and it doesn't mean pretending the relationship didn't matter. It means recognizing that holding on to it, replaying it in your mind, or wishing it had turned out differently is only adding to your load. Letting go is not forgetting. It's choosing peace over pain. Breakups will always feel heavy at first, but they don't have to define your story. In the next chapter, we'll dive deeper into how understanding the law of detachment can help you begin to untangle the knots of emotional pain and rediscover your own strength. The law of detachment is a concept that many people misunderstand. It's not about erasing the person or pretending the relationship didn't matter. Instead, it's about releasing the need to control how things unfold in your life. At its core, the law of detachment is freedom. It's learning to let go of what no longer serves you and trusting that what's meant for you will find its way. Think about the moments after a breakup when you replay conversations in your head, wondering if things could have gone differently. It's human nature to want answers, to search for control in situations that feel chaotic. But the law of detachment teaches us that this endless grasping only creates more pain. It's like holding onto a rope that's pulling you in the wrong direction. Every second you cling to it, the harder it cuts into your hands. Detachment isn't about avoiding emotions or pretending not to care. It's about acknowledging the pain, feeling it fully, and then choosing to release it. When you detach, you're not letting go of the love you felt, but the expectations and outcomes you tied to it. You're saying, I don't need this to look the way I thought it would to find peace. One of the key principles of the law of detachment is trust. It's trusting yourself to navigate the uncertainty ahead and believing that life has something better waiting for you. Detachment requires courage because it means stepping into the unknown. It's about creating space for healing, growth, and even new possibilities. Imagine holding onto a balloon. At first you hold it tightly because you're afraid to let it go, but when you finally release it, you notice how light you feel, how free your hand becomes. That's what detachment offers: lightness, clarity, and the ability to move forward without the weight of what no longer serves you. The law of detachment isn't an overnight fix. It's a practice, one that requires patience and self-compassion. But the rewards are profound. When you embrace detachment, you'll notice that the heaviness begins to lift. You'll find yourself making peace with what is and opening up to what could be. In the next chapter, we'll explore the emotional roller coaster of healing and how to navigate the highs and lows that come with moving forward. Healing after a breakup isn't a straight path. It's a winding road filled with highs and lows. One moment, you feel like you're moving forward. The next, a simple memory or a familiar place pulls you back into the past. This unpredictable cycle is what makes healing feel so challenging, but it's also what makes the process real. The emotional roller coaster of healing is messy, but it's proof that you're human and that you cared deeply. At times, the ups and downs might make you question yourself. Why am I still feeling this way? Or shouldn't I be over this by now? It's easy to believe that healing is supposed to be quick and linear, but that's not how it works. Progress doesn't mean erasing the pain overnight. It means learning to sit with it, understanding it, and allowing it to become part of your story without letting it control you. Some days you'll feel lighter, like you've turned a corner. You might even catch yourself laughing at something that once felt impossible to enjoy. Other days, the memories will hit harder. A song, a scent, or a passing thought can bring the sadness rushing back. That's the nature of the emotional roller coaster. It's not a setback, but a part of the process. Think of your emotions as waves in the ocean. They rise, crash, and then eventually settle. Trying to fight against them will only exhaust you. Instead, allow yourself to feel each wave fully, knowing it will pass. Sadness, anger, longing. These emotions don't last forever, even if they feel overwhelming in the moment. While riding this roller coaster, small habits can make the ride smoother. Journaling is a powerful tool to organize your thoughts and release the emotions swirling in your mind. Writing down your feelings can help you find patterns and clarity in what feels like chaos. Talking to a trusted friend or loved one can also make a big difference. Knowing someone is there to listen reminds you that you're not alone in this journey. Even acts as simple as stepping outside for fresh air, walking in nature, or practicing deep breathing can ground you when the emotions feel like they're taking over. Healing is about finding these moments of peace amidst the storm. It's important to remember, relapses aren't failures. They're opportunities to grow stronger. Every time you confront these emotions, you're building the resilience needed to truly let go. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to identify and release the attachments that keep pulling you back. Attachments often feel invisible, yet they're the unseen threads that keep us tied to the past. After a breakup, these attachments can show up in unexpected ways, replaying old conversations, holding on to items that remind you of them, or even checking their social media just to see. These habits aren't wrong. They're simply signs that part of you is still tethered to the relationship. But what exactly are we attached to? Often, it's not just the person we're holding on to, it's the dreams we built with them, the sense of stability they brought, or even the version of ourselves we were when we were with them. Identifying these attachments is the first step toward letting go, because you can't release what you don't recognize. Take a moment to reflect. Are you clinging to a specific memory, like a perfect vacation or a heartfelt promise? Or maybe it's a belief, like the idea that they were the one, or that you won't find someone else like them. These attachments might feel comforting at first, but over time, they can become heavy, pulling you back when you're trying to move forward. One powerful way to identify your attachments is through journaling. Write down the thoughts or memories that keep surfacing. Be honest with yourself. What are you afraid of losing if you let go? Sometimes, just seeing those words on paper can help you understand what's truly keeping you stuck. Releasing attachments doesn't mean erasing the person or forgetting the good times. It means loosening your grip on the expectations and what-ifs that are no longer serving you. Imagine holding a rope that's tied to a heavy weight. The longer you hold on, the more it hurts your hands. But when you decide to let go, you feel the relief almost instantly. That's the power of releasing attachments. One helpful practice is to create rituals of release. For instance, you could write a letter to your ex, not to send, but to express everything you're holding on to. Let the words flow freely, then destroy the letter as a symbolic act of letting go. This simple act can feel incredibly freeing, helping you to acknowledge your feelings and move on without the need for closure from the other person. Another way to release attachments is to shift your focus inward. Redirect your energy toward rediscovering yourself. Spend time doing things that make you feel alive and whole, whether it's picking up a forgotten hobby, connecting with friends, or even exploring new passions. Every step you take toward yourself is a step away from what's weighing you down. It's important to be patient with yourself during this process. Letting go isn't about rushing or forcing yourself to feel better overnight. It's about giving yourself the grace to heal in your own time. The attachments didn't form in a day, and they won't dissolve instantly. But with consistent effort, you'll start to feel lighter and more in control of your own story. Releasing attachments is not just about finding freedom from the past. It's about opening the door to your future. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to redefine your sense of self after a breakup and rebuild the foundation for a stronger, more empowered version of you. After a breakup, it's common to feel like you've lost not just the relationship, but also a part of yourself. This is because relationships often shape how we see ourselves, our habits, our dreams, and even our identity. Redefining self-identity post-breakup can feel overwhelming, but it's also one of the most empowering steps you can take. Think about how intertwined your life became with your ex. Maybe you picked up their interests, adjusted your routines to fit theirs, or even started seeing yourself through their eyes. When the relationship ends, it's natural to feel disoriented. You might ask yourself, who am I without them? This question can feel scary, but it's also an invitation to rediscover parts of yourself that may have been buried. Start by reconnecting with what makes you, you. What did you love to do before the relationship? Were there hobbies, passions, or ambitions that took a back seat? Take a moment to think about the activities that once brought you joy. Rediscovering these aspects of yourself isn't about erasing the past, but about reclaiming the parts of you that existed before the relationship. A practical way to do this is to write down 3 things you loved about yourself before the relationship. Did you love how adventurous you were? Your creativity? Your sense of humor? Once you've identified those traits, look for small ways to nurture them in your daily life. If you used to love painting but haven't picked up a brush in years, Buy some supplies and set aside time to create. If you miss your adventurous side, plan a solo trip or try something new, like a cooking class or hiking trail. Another key part of redefining self-identity is understanding the lessons the relationship taught you. Every relationship, no matter how it ends, offers insights. What did you learn about yourself, your needs, or your boundaries? Reflecting on these lessons can help you grow and approach future relationships with more clarity and confidence. However, redefining yourself doesn't mean rushing to create a new version of who you are. It's about allowing space for your identity to evolve naturally. Be patient with yourself. There's no timeline for self-discovery, and it's okay to feel unsure at times. Remember, it's not about fixing yourself. It's about finding the parts of you that feel whole and building from there. As you redefine your self-identity, lean into your support system. Surround yourself with people who see you for who you truly are and encourage your growth. Their presence can remind you that you're not alone in this journey. Above all, remember that you are more than the relationship you had. You are a whole, complex and resilient person, and this breakup is just one chapter in your story, not the end of it. Redefining self-identity post-breakup isn't about forgetting the past, but embracing the future with open arms and a clearer sense of who you are. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to bring detachment into your everyday life, using practical steps to build a mindset of resilience and peace. Practicing detachment in everyday life isn't about turning away from emotions or becoming indifferent to the world around you. It's about learning to engage with life fully without being weighed down by the need to control outcomes. Detachment, when practiced daily, becomes a way of living that fosters peace, clarity, and emotional freedom. To begin, let's explore what detachment looks like in practical terms. Imagine starting your day with an intention. Today, I will focus on what I can control and let go of what I cannot. This small mental shift can set the tone for how you approach challenges, relationships, and even your own thoughts. One of the most effective ways to practice detachment is by being present. When you catch yourself overthinking about the past, what could have been, or the future and what might happen, bring your attention back to the moment. Take a few deep breaths and anchor yourself to what's happening right now. Whether it's the warmth of your coffee cup or the sound of birds outside, these small details remind you that peace exists in the present, not in the what-ifs. Detachment also means creating boundaries, not just with others, but with your own mind. If you find yourself checking your ex's social media or replaying conversations in your head, pause and ask, what do I gain from this? Often, these habits keep us stuck, tethered to a version of the past that no longer serves us. By gently redirecting your focus to something constructive, reading, journaling, or even tidying up, you train your mind to release its grip on what's outside your control. Another way to practice detachment in everyday life is by setting small, achievable goals that focus on yourself. These goals don't have to be grand. They can be as simple as committing to a morning walk, learning a new recipe, or calling a friend you haven't spoken to in a while. By investing your energy in actions that nurture your well-being, you create a sense of fulfillment that doesn't rely on external validation. Practicing gratitude is also a powerful tool for detachment. When you focus on what you already have, it's easier to let go of what's missing. At the end of each day, write down 3 things you're grateful for. They don't have to be big. Something as simple as a kind word from a colleague or a good cup of tea can shift your perspective and remind you of the abundance already in your life. Detachment isn't about avoiding pain or becoming numb. It's about recognizing that life flows and clinging to outcomes, whether it's in relationships, work, or personal goals, only creates resistance. By practicing detachment daily, you allow yourself to move through life with less heaviness and more grace. This practice will look different for everyone. It's not about doing it perfectly. It's about making small, intentional choices every day that bring you closer to peace. Over time, you'll notice that situations or people that once caused distress no longer have the same hold over you. You'll find yourself more grounded, more present, and more open to the possibilities that life has to offer. In the next chapter, we'll discuss how to turn the pain of a breakup into purpose, using what you've learned to fuel personal growth and create a life that feels meaningful and fulfilling. Pain has a way of making everything else feel small. After a breakup, it's easy to think of the hurt as something to endure, a weight to carry until it finally lifts. But what if the pain could become more than just a burden? What if it could be a stepping stone towards something greater? Turning pain into purpose is not about ignoring what happened, but using it to fuel growth and transformation. Think about the moments when life has tested you before. Maybe it was a challenge at work, a conflict with a friend, or even a time when you doubted yourself. Each of those moments likely taught you something about your strength, your resilience, or your ability to adapt. A breakup is no different. It's an opportunity to take everything you've learned and channel it into building a stronger, more fulfilled version of yourself. One way to turn pain into purpose is by asking yourself a powerful question. What can I create from this? Maybe it's a new skill you've always wanted to learn, but never had the time for. Maybe it's volunteering, sharing your energy with others who need it. Or maybe it's simply rediscovering the joy of being in your own company. Every action you take to move forward is a step away from the pain. Another approach is to reframe the breakup as a moment of clarity. Sometimes, relationships end because they no longer align with who you're becoming. The pain you feel now is a sign that you care deeply, but it's also a reminder that you have the courage to choose yourself. This clarity can guide you toward a life that feels more authentic and aligned with your values. Many people find purpose in sharing their journey. Writing, whether for yourself or others, can be a healing process. Reflecting on what you've been through and putting it into words not only helps you process your feelings but might also inspire someone else who's struggling. Your story has value, and sharing it can transform pain into a source of connection and meaning. Turning pain into purpose doesn't mean the hurt will disappear overnight, but it does mean that the hurt doesn't have to be wasted. Every tear, every moment of doubt, is a piece of the puzzle that's shaping you into the person you're meant to become. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to rediscover joy and peace, taking the lessons you've learned and using them to rebuild a life that feels vibrant and whole. After the storm of a breakup, the idea of finding joy and peace again might feel distant, like a light at the end of a tunnel you can barely see. But here's the truth. Peace isn't something you need to chase. It's already within you, waiting to be uncovered. Finding joy and peace again is about reconnecting with the parts of yourself that bring you calm, purpose, and happiness. Start with small moments. Joy doesn't always announce itself with grand gestures. It often hides in life's quiet spaces. It might be the way the morning sun warms your face, the laughter of a friend, or the satisfaction of completing a task you've been putting off. These moments, when noticed and appreciated, start to form a foundation of peace. To rediscover joy, try creating space for the things that once brought you happiness. If you loved cooking, pick a favorite recipe and lose yourself in the process. If music was your escape, make time to listen to a song that lifts your spirit. These activities aren't about distraction. They're about nurturing yourself and reminding you of the things that make life meaningful. Another way to invite peace back into your life is by simplifying your days. Let go of commitments or habits that drain you. Sometimes, healing requires stepping back from the noise of the world and creating time to simply be. Find a place, a park, a cozy corner, or even your favorite chair, and spend a few minutes there every day to reconnect with yourself. Gratitude is also a powerful way to cultivate peace. Start a small habit of writing down 3 things you're thankful for each day. They don't have to be big. Something as simple as a delicious meal or a kind smile from a stranger is enough. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's already present, helping you see abundance where you might have seen lack. Above all, finding joy and peace again is about giving yourself permission to feel them. It's easy to believe that after a breakup, happiness should come later, after you've healed more, worked harder, or figured out everything. But peace isn't about waiting. It's about embracing where you are now and finding beauty in the imperfection of this moment. As you continue this journey, remember that peace and joy don't mean the absence of pain. They exist alongside it, growing stronger as you learn to embrace life fully. The best part? This isn't just about moving on. It's about moving forward, with a heart that's open to all the possibilities ahead. Starting over after a breakup can feel like standing at the edge of the unknown. The familiar life you once built has shifted, leaving you with a mix of uncertainty and possibility. Embracing a new beginning isn't about rushing forward or leaving everything behind. It's about stepping into what comes next with intention and self-compassion. Beginnings don't always feel dramatic or transformative at first. Often they're found in the smallest of moments. It's the decision to get out of bed on a tough morning, the quiet joy of reconnecting with an old passion, or the realization that you've gone a whole day without replaying the past in your mind. These seemingly small steps are the foundation of something bigger. To embrace this new chapter, ask yourself what truly brings you peace and joy. What have you always wanted to explore but held back? Maybe it's something simple, like taking up gardening or learning to cook a favorite dish. Maybe it's something bold, like planning a solo trip or starting a new project. This is your chance to redefine what your life looks like, on your terms. Trusting yourself is another vital part of this process. After a breakup, it's normal to feel like your judgment was flawed or your choices were wrong. But remember, every step you've taken, even the missteps, has brought you here. You've learned, grown, and become stronger because of it. Trust that you have what it takes to create a life that feels true to you. Letting go of what's behind you doesn't mean you're erasing the past. It means choosing not to carry it with you as a weight. You can honor the memories and lessons without letting them define your future. The relationships we lose often teach us the most about what we need, what we value, and who we are. Use those lessons to guide you forward. Most importantly, allow yourself to hope again. It's easy to feel like the pain of heartbreak might linger forever, but joy and peace are always within reach. They don't arrive all at once. They come in glimpses, in the laughter of friends, in moments of quiet confidence, and in the rediscovery of yourself. As you close this chapter, remind yourself that every ending is also a beginning. You don't have to know exactly where you're headed yet. What matters is that you're moving forward, creating a life that's vibrant, full, and undeniably yours. If this video brought you clarity or support, consider giving it a super thanks. Your encouragement helps us continue creating content that uplifts and inspires. And don't forget to hit subscribe to become part of this growing community. Together, we'll keep exploring ways to heal, grow, and embrace life with purpose.